Assalamu alaikum, everyone. I'm just going to jump straight into it because it's currently nearly 6 o'clock over here, and there's very little sun, and it's getting cold, so I'll just jump straight into it. So anyway, I promised you a video about the two weeks. So I'll just start with last week. So last week wasn't as eventful. Well, I mean, technically neither of these weeks are eventful, but they kind of are when shoved together. So last week, in Arabic, we got started learning about family and, yeah, family. It's complicated. It really is. We had to find out about the family of two other people, and it's very, very complicated. I'm not even going to go into it. We are actually a whole semester ahead of everyone else, and we're supposed to be beginning Arabic along with everyone else, but turns out the guy who's teaching us is actually the language program director. So, yeah, so we're getting the best. Anyway, so that goes along. The only real highlight of last week was I made a new friend, Shingo. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right, Shingo. Forgive me, my friend, if I am. Because I'm afraid of pronouncing your first name incorrectly, I'm not even going to bother with your last name, even though I'm sure I could get it right. Hashimoto? I think, maybe? Ah, crap. Machinery. It's lovely. Anyway, so I met him. He's my new friend from Japan. At the Global Leadership Conference that was held here between Moroccan students here at the university and students from Tokyo Tech, which is one of the best universities in Japan, if my understanding is correct. Anyway, so I met with him. We talked very briefly, but we've become Facebook friends, and we hopefully are going to start talking more regularly. I've spoken with him a couple of times, but again, time difference. What can you do? I'm just noticing I've got this neckline here, so I'm playing with it. Anyway, so yeah, so last week didn't travel or anything, just stayed and studied. I've noticed I'm out of the traveling loops. I'm not. There's no one really. Everyone's traveling except me, and I really have no idea what groups are doing what. I'm just not part of those groups in general, and I'm left out. I'm not sure if that's because of my own effort or because people just don't want me to go with them. Either way is fine. I've accepted it because they're trying to get most of the people that are in this hurry traveling are here for a semester, and I'm here for the year. So mine is not a much hurrying method. The weird thing is, I don't even know what that does. It doesn't seem like it does anything, really. And I know that there's no conditioning or anything like that in the buildings. So I have no idea what that thing's about, and it's upsetting me. But I'm not going to move. Anyway, pressing on. Last week, really, nothing much happened. Classes were normal. Arabic was fine. And got through that this week. So this week opened up very, very interestingly with a discussion on feminism, a panel on feminism, and because I have some feminist friends and all that, I'm not going to talk about it. I'm not going to talk about it. If you want to talk to me about it, you can Facebook me, you can message me, you can call me on Viber, and I will happily talk to you about that. But I'm not wasting this video talking about feminism. But anyway, the panel was about a Catholic woman from the Congo and a woman who studied in, or who lives in Rabat and teaches in Rabat, and both of them were about feminism, compatibility, and religion. Again, we can talk about that later. Anyway, very interesting panel, but it kind of went the way I thought it would. Anyways, I'm sorry. I just don't want to talk about this. Moving on. Anyway, so after that, we learned about numbers in Arabic. We started learning new things. More new things. Still just trying to get the vocab down, trying to get the vowels in the alphabet down. We're about roughly halfway through it, if not a little more than that. So we're plowing through that. Anyway, so none of the other classes really had anything interesting, except my politics of empire class is very interesting. That's part of the reason why I wasn't able to put a video up last week, because I was doing a video on that. I mean, a paper on that. Very interesting class. Just talking about just empires in general, mostly how they relate to the European Union. And I'm doing very well in that class. At least I like to think I am. I'm the most talkative person there. I'm usually the one that contributes most to most of the conversations. Thank you for shutting off, you noisy thing. Anyway, so yeah, that's an interesting class, very good, but the papers there are going to be very lengthy. He wants about 45,000 words a paper, which is, because about 2,000 words is about a little over 6 pages. So just to give you a kind of understanding on how long these papers are going to be. Anyway, very interesting class. I'm liking that one. I'm liking the Intro to African Politics class, only because I love the professor. Dr. Razawi has worked with the UN, as I believe I've mentioned before, for many years, helping out in various African countries. Overall, just a great guy. Dr. Gunn, who's I believe he's either an assistant director or he's an assistant. He's pretty high up in the humanities school. His U.S. and the Middle East class is very interesting. I always look forward to that because he's got a very energetic and very interactive way of teaching that particular class. Anyway, so the classes are going good. The highlight of this week was I joined the Interfaith Alliance Club, which is a club that is about a discussion and dialogue between various faiths and beliefs and all that, and how to bridge the gaps between those and to become a more cooperative humanity. And I was elected that meeting to be its international student treasurer, which means I handle finances from the international student perspective, or something along that lines. I have there's an international and then there's a Moroccan student for both positions, so I work with the Moroccan students. So yeah, I'm happy about that. This would mean that for the last 6 years I've held some leadership position or the other, or I've ran for one, or I've done something about that. So very happy about that, happy to be involved and happy to do more things. And it gives me something to do in my off time. Anyway, so I'm looking forward to that and looking forward to more dialogues, and hopefully to tell you, all of you, everyone, that of what I'm doing there and what we have going on. Let's see. Cultural. I think I'll save Arabic. I was going to talk about Arabic this time around, but I think I'll save that for next video. What could I talk about, really? This is actually pretty. That switching Arabic over to the next video was a decision I just made, and I didn't really have a follow-up, which is very which, as most of you know, is very not like me. So, I guess I'll just talk about something that I just came up with that just hit me yesterday. Is being here makes me realize how many things I take for granted back at home, like a stable internet connection, having TV, having my PS3, having things available, and the instant gratification that comes with it. And it has just caused me to reflect on just life back at home and just American life in general and all that, comparing it to Moroccan culture. And I have a little bit of an envy for the Moroccan lifestyle because, as I've mentioned before, it's a very laid back and relaxed culture in comparison to the life back in the U.S. You shut up! Sorry. Anyway, so it's just caused me to reflect, and I think they're allowed to have this laid-back lifestyle and this sort of go-with-the-flow mentality because they don't have all of the industrial gadgetry and the quirks that make up American life. And it's just overall very, it's very interesting. I mean, well, it's just caused me to reflect a lot. I mean, just a lot of internal reflection of just, well, how can I make the Moroccan lifestyle mold into my current American lifestyle? Even though I already have a pretty laid-back lifestyle as it is for an American, to the point where my parents, who will be watching this video later, complain that I'm a little too laid back, even though my mother once said that I carry myself very rigidly and I'm never relaxed, which is true in terms of my bodily composition or composure. Anyway, so it's amazing, really. Like, if you remove yourself and put yourself in a place or in a lifestyle or amongst people whose way of life is really different from your own, it allows you to kind of reflect and just say, well, what are the pros and cons of my lifestyle and what are theirs, and where's the nice middle ground about it? So, I mean, it's just very, I think it's good. I think it's good, and I think not many people do it. I think there's not enough travel in the world, and I don't think there's enough exchanging of cultural values or anything along that line. And I think it's a shame because it's created an us and them mentality where we have our way of doing things, they have theirs, and we don't learn anything from each other. So it's a crying shame, and I know there's going to be certain people who watch these videos that are going to be like, oh, that's very liberal, and that's a very idealist way of doing it. Well, that may or may not be, but it's also a very human way to look at it, and I prize myself of being more human than anything else. And honestly, whether you claim it to be liberal or idealistic or what have you, from whatever criticism you might take on that, but that's the fact of the matter, is that how can we survive as a human race if all we do is continuously and constantly, unnecessarily pit each other, pit us against each other. It's fine to be competitive, but when you take it to the point of some sort of Neanderthalic conflict or very archaic medieval lifestyle of survival of the fittest, then you hate you so, then that sort of loses the human meaning. And given all the issues that come about nowadays that exist in life, I think we need to move past that mentality and to evolve into something more. Anyway, so yeah, so living here in Morocco is, or staying here so far in Morocco has really caused me to do some internal reflection on my lifestyle, in terms of just how I live it, and especially when it pertains to this thingy. I like this thingy. Anyway, I noticed it gets bigger throughout the years, and it terrifies me. But in 10 years' time, it's going to be like, it'll be looking like this. Anyway, so yeah, so announcements. Sorry I couldn't get the video up last week. As I said, very busy with academic work. I also noticed that, again, there are some people who watch these that I'm like, do you really watch this? I didn't know. So it does me good to know that there are a lot of people out there that actually watch these videos that I don't expect to be watching them. I also was told that apparently if you look up this university's name, Akhawayn University, my videos are the first things that pop up, so I didn't know that either. So the things you learn and the places you'll go. Yeah, so I'm sorry I didn't get the video up, so I'm making up like this. I also promised you a treat. Unfortunately, this video went too long, and I'm losing daylight, so I can't give it to you this time. That's going to be next video, and it's a treat I'm going to give you at some point during my stay here. So if I keep pushing it back, I apologize. I'm going to try and give it to you ASAP. But yeah, hope you all enjoy. Again, comment, like, criticize, whatever you want to do. Tips, things that you'd like to see, anything at all. Just let me know, and I hope you continue to enjoy these videos and look forward to them. Okay, maka salama.